If you're looking for a offline, off-grid tactical operations center software suite, you may want to check out XTOC and all the additional add-ons that MKME Labs has added to it here recently since my last videos on this. And I'm going to go into some of those new features. There's a lot to unlock, so they'd be a really long video if I did every single feature. Plus, I haven't mastered every single feature in there yet. So we'll be doing a few more videos on this in the future. So let's take a look.
Okay, 3036 Marte 45.
Starting off with the tactical map, not a lot has changed in here since my last video, but if you've first time seen this, you might be like, wow, that's really busy. But as soon as you zoom in, say you're here in Texas somewhere, you see it gets cleaned up really quick. You can filter that stuff by deselecting different things that are in the map. Of course, most of what you're seeing right now is the stuff from S2 Underground, his common intelligence picture. Not sure why that's jumping around on me, but it is. And see, boom, it's gone. So it's a little game you have to play to click it. I have repeaters I've put in there. You could put, it has a deflock or the flock cameras ones. And then, pay attention to this right here. So alerts, no check-ins, in 60 minutes, comms test, all that stuff there. So I'll talk about that in a second. So you see this, pretty cool. What we're going to go over next is Intel. Not a whole lot's changed there. I did a short video on this, but S2 Underground's common intelligence picture, dashboards in here. You can add your own if you have one, or if you know somebody is. One thing I'll be talking about in the future is X-Core. This is something you can connect with this. It's a tool. It's an assistance tool basically to help filter through or analyze information that's coming in, especially if you're monitoring a lot of different stuff at one time. It's going to help basically analyze that, summarize it for you so that you're not getting information overload. I'll have more on that in the future as I start playing with it, but it would be connected to XTOC through up here. So now ISR video, ISR is pretty cool. You added, one use case I can see of this, think you have your talk set up somewhere and you set up a, entryway security camera, and you could have that piped in here, set up, especially if it's on your own network. And you don't even need internet for that if you have a, your own area network already set up. So, and then of course there's other cool stuff you could do with ATAC and stuff. So that's future testing for me. Nets. He added the Amron net style starter in here. You can load that in. And then you can also build your own plans. These are amateur radio nets. And once you set one up, it's going to, so you see all these ones down here. If you set these up, now it's going to tell you in your little ticker feed, as I was mentioning earlier, that, hey, this net's coming up, the time of the net. So it gives you a little heads up. So that's a pretty cool feature. Communications, nothing's really changed there. Mesh, just in case you haven't seen this before, I've got a Meshtastic node connected to this. You can connect a mesh core node. Also, you can do mesh chat, which is Reticulum. I haven't done that yet. ManNet, which is something like an open ManNet Halo radio setup, which you could also do some potential video feed stuff through. Radios is where we're going to focus, as you saw there in the beginning. I'm currently monitoring local air bands because I can't pick up a whole lot with an antenna inside this brick concrete home that I'm in. And I got to get an antenna outside, but I wanted to make sure it was working correctly. I'm running it through an RTL SDR that's connected to my computer. And then you're going to use the XTOC radio helper file, which I'll show you right here what that looks like. Start XTOC radio, and then this is going to run a Python script, and you're going to have all that information there. You don't really need to pay attention to that. If it's not working, it's going to say stop in there typically, but it's also going to right here, see how it says listen on live. Now it's not. Once you start running it, you have to hit listen, and then it starts connecting to that headless bridge that's basically running SDR as the program that's getting the data from your RTLCR. Not trying to get too complicated here. And then, of course, you need to select the right source. You could obviously have all this up and running. I believe I haven't tried that because I only have one SDR. Maybe I should get more just to try this, but you could have, if you have enough, you got a USB hub, you could be potentially running and multiple antennas, more than one at a time. So that's an interesting feature. I haven't tested it, so I can't tell you for sure it works. You can pop the face out. You could have this face on your map, on your tactical map, so you could be controlling the radio from there. And then you can move these around up and down wherever you want to have this. This is the wideband scanner I have set up, listening to the airband right now. I have it set in auto for mode, so it knows, it just automatically selects, but you can manually select the modes. And then through here are some buttons: air, rail, EMS, police department, NOAA, weather radio, ham radio, marine, broadcast FM, FRS, GRMS. These are kind of presets, because if you have it in something like VFO, it takes a little bit to get, it's not very fast. It doesn't have like a little spinner. You can't, if you have to move a long ways on the frequency ranges, it's going to take you a while. So this helps get you there quicker. Then you can do scan and search. I'm not sure the difference. I think scan's what you've preset, and then search is just searches the whole. For say it's in airband, it would search the airband frequencies. I could be wrong there. Dual band, 2 meter, 77 meter. You could have this up and running. You could be monitoring, and here you can change. If you want to change the dial, you just go, you see A and B, you go there, and now I've got B up, and I can change the frequency on the UHF versus the VHF. And you can go into dual mode, and you can adjust your squelch volume, all that stuff. Same stuff you can kind of adjust up here. But then you have the HF base transceiver. Once again, I haven't been able to monitor that on here yet because I don't have the right antenna, and of course it's inside too. So I have a right antenna. I just need to get it outside. So to be able to monitor HF frequencies. So that is pretty much it for the radios. Digital mode, something he added also, or added some additional features to, like APRS, JSA call, FLDigi, and VARC. This is something you can bridge into your radios and then be able to have inbound traffic in here, and it'd be decoding it right here for you. I haven't seen it up and running. I do have an HF rig here, but I have to get it all connected first, and that's a future project. I'm not going to go over ATAC. That's something I'm going to work on in the future. If there's interest, SATCOM, we've already gone over. I'll go into it more in the future if someone wants it. PACE plans, here's something he added: more templates. This really helps people that have maybe never built PACE plans before. Give them examples, give them ideas of what type of PACE plans they might consider. Hurricane aftermath, shelter in place orders, hazmat shelter in place, and then the template kind of walks you through so you know what you're doing. You see there's tons of different ones. Wildfires, that would be a good one for the Western United States. Well, heck, it seems like the whole world now. But anyways, so those are all there, all available for you. So please, if you have an area of this you want me to do more in depth on, please put it in the comments down below so I don't waste my time doing videos on maybe something no one's currently interested in, because it'd be a way too long video for me to go through step by step of every single little thing. If you want to support the channel, you can hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Final notes: XTOC, the software suite price has gone up quite a bit from the time that I did my initial video. I think the whole plan there, this is just my own assumptions, this has nothing to do with EmComm Labs, is he was getting it out there, getting interest, and he's put a lot of work and effort into, or EmComm Labs has done a lot of work on this. Eric, I assume, is the only one doing what. Maybe he has some help, but it is still, for as feature rich as it is still, I think it's still a good value. You own the license. There's no monthly, yearly, whatever subscription fees. And if you need to, for whatever reason, a computer crashes or something and you have to transfer the software suite to another computer, you can do that. I confirmed that with Eric. So all in all, I think it's pretty good. If you want to check it out, of course, there is an affiliate link down below for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for watching.